Hi, it's Nicole Moore here with another Flirty Friday video. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below to make sure you never miss a video. Today I'm going to be sharing a very important topic for so many women, and that is how do you actually attract a faithful, non-cheating guy? So I'm going to share with you some ways to spot if you have a cheater or a faithful man, and I'm going to share 4 tips to not attract a cheater, but to attract a faithful man. And the first thing I want to say is if you have been cheated on, I hear you, I get it, I know that it sucks. So I was in a relationship where I was repeatedly cheated on many times with my partner. He cheated with his ex-wife, he cheated with his ex-girlfriend, and it really hurt. And so from that experience, though, I had 2 choices. Close my heart, be afraid, and repeat the cycle over and over again, or attract something different. And luckily, I attracted something different. So just today, and the reason I am making this video is because my incredible, amazing man called me and he said, I was talking to a coworker and she shared that, her partner is, cheating, or he was talking to another woman, and my man, he was just so upset about it. And he said, I can't believe that he would do that, and I just love you so much, and I just feel so protective of our love and of our family. And I got, once again, what a committed, faithful man that I have. So I wanted to share with you some ways to spot a cheater and spot a faithful man. So again, this is not for every single man, it's case by case, but telltale way to spot a cheater is that he's cheated before, and here's the key, because I do believe people can change. However, he's cheated before and is non-remorseful about it or justifies it as the other person's fault. So this is the important thing. Listen, people can change. I don't believe once a cheater, always a cheater. But if you're talking to a man or you're with a man who cheated in the past and his attitude towards it is justifying his behavior, blaming the other person, non-remorseful, then that's usually an indicator that he actually hasn't gotten over that behavior. Okay, so contrast, how do you spot a faithful man? He's never cheated before, or if he has, he's remorseful. So one of the ways that I knew that my man was a faithful man is because before he met me, he was divorced, but in his marriage, even when things were not going well, he didn't cheat, and he was with that person for 8 years. So that gave me a clue that, he is a faithful person. He's never cheated in a relationship before. So if your guy has cheated, he still has the capacity to change, but you're looking for his attitude towards the cheating. Is it, something like remorseful and I'm sorry that I did that and I was in a bad place and I'll never do it again? If it's justifying behavior, that might be a red flag. So another way to spot a potential cheater is that he doesn't really share what's going on with him. He doesn't share his emotions. He's super closed off. He's not even in touch with his emotions. Maybe there's a tough guy facade. Now, not sharing emotions isn't always an indication of cheating. However, I firmly believe that if you don't deal with your stuff, if you don't face your emotions, it doesn't just go away. It comes in another negative avenue, sometimes like cheating. So again, on the flip, if you have a man who comes to you, he can share his emotions. If he has a complaint about you or just something that he wants to ask you maybe to shift, he says it. He is open. He shares his feelings. So that's another way I was able to tell that my man was a faithful man, is that he was open with me. He was honest with me. He shared his true feelings with me. If there was something that I did that bothered him, he wouldn't bottle it up. He would share it with me in an honest, open way. That is an indication of an honest man in integrity. So, another way you can spot a faithful man and also spot a cheating man is look at their loyalty. And what I mean by this is, how does he talk about you when you're not there? Do you have the sense that he's complaining about you to his buddies, or he doesn't have your back when he's not with you? Or do you get the sense that this man sees the two of you really on a team, really on a partnership? He has your back. He's not even talking about you negatively to his friends or his coworkers or anyone else because he understands the importance of team. that would be a faithful man. If you have the feeling that your man is complaining about you but not telling you, that might be an indication that something is off in the relationship. Fourth way you can tell a cheater from a faithful man is he appreciative of you or not? So look for, is he telling you that he appreciates you? Is he in gratitude for what you're bringing? Or is he constantly critical? When I was in a relationship with the man who cheated on me, he was constantly criticizing me and telling me how I should do things differently. Now, full responsibility, I was in that relationship because it was a mirror for me and my own self-criticism. So I don't blame him. But looking back, that was a key indicator that something was off. So on the flip side, a faithful man is appreciative of what you're bringing. He tells you all the time, every day, or at least often, what he loves about you. And the fifth piece of how you can tell a faithful man is he wants to protect the relationship itself. So when I was in a relationship with a person who cheated on me, I always had this feeling, it was like I was always looking out for the relationship, right? Like it was like I had to I felt like the relationship was this thing that I had to protect from my partner, if that makes sense. In my relationship now, I feel like my partner is invested in protecting the relationship. And I know that because he will tell me that. So that can give you an indication. With the man you're dating, do you feel like you are the one managing the protection of the relationship? And what I mean by that is really overgiving and making sure the relationship is safe and flourishing. Or do you feel like you have a man who gets partnership and is invested in protecting the relationship? That is a faithful man. So now I want to share 4 ways to not attract cheaters, but to attract in a faithful man. So the first one is, if you have been cheated on, you must forgive. So I get it. It really hurts. When I was cheated on multiple times, it broke me. It was one of the worst pains I've ever experienced in my life. But I knew that if I wanted to attract in a faithful man after that, I had to forgive. Now, how do you forgive? You simply realize that the person who cheated on you wasn't doing it to you. They were just doing what they were doing. You happened to get caught up with them at that particular moment, but it's not personal. So we suffer when we think they cheated on me. And a really good reframe is they cheated on love itself. They weren't ready for deep love and intimacy with one person. So if you take it away from they cheated on me, and you make it about their availability for love, and if anything, them cheating on love, it can help you let go and forgive. The second piece is that you have to let go of the cheating being a part of your identity. And here's what I mean by that. A lot of women who've been cheated on, they really focus on that, and they kind of take a victim stance, and then they think every man's going to cheat on them, or maybe they've had a bunch of men cheating on them, and it becomes part of your identity. You start to think that you were just a woman that gets cheated on. And if you want that to stop happening to you, you have to erase that from your identity. Here's what I said to not identify with the cheating. I told myself, Nicole, you got struck by lightning. You know how people usually don't get struck by lightning again if they have been. It's very, very rare. So I hypnotized myself to the belief that, Nicole, you got struck by lightning. This is a rare occurrence. It is not going to happen again. And I told myself that I was the kind of woman that inspires faithfulness in a relationship, and that was really a one-time thing. If you've been cheated on once, take that. If you've been cheated on a bunch of times, it doesn't matter. You have to stop looking at yourself as the victim of cheating, and you have to declare today that who you are today, no matter what's happened in the past, is a woman who inspires faithfulness in a man and who absolutely has the ability to have a faithful, committed partner. The third thing you need to do to stop attracting in cheaters is you need to stop fearing being cheated on. And I know that's easier said than done, because if you've been cheated on, you've experienced pain, you don't want it to happen again. But here's the thing. A Course in Miracles says we create what we defend against. So the more you say, I don't want it, I don't want it, I don't want it, I don't want it, the more you attract it in. So how I stopped being afraid of being cheated on, it sounds paradoxical, but I got that if it were to happen again, I would be okay. And how I got that if it were to happen again, I would be okay is because I did work on myself to love myself after the cheating. And I got to this moment where I said, you know what, like I'm still here. My heart is still here. I still can love. My spirit is still here. I got that the cheating hadn't harmed anything in me that was eternal and inherent to me. It hurt. It really, really hurt. But it didn't hurt me. It didn't hurt my spirit. And if you can connect to that there's a piece of you inside that actually hasn't been touched by the cheating, that is eternal. You know, some people call it the spark of God, whatever you want to call it. There is a part inside of you that no matter what anybody has done to you is still there. And if you can connect to that part, you will be free from what someone else has done to you. And then you won't be afraid because you will know that even if the same exact thing were to happen again, you would be okay. That's freedom. And the fourth piece is you focus on what you want. So if you've been cheated on a bunch of times, we already know you don't want that. What do you want? Focus on the feeling of what it feels like to be with a man who says, like my man says. He will say, he jokes, you're stuck with me. I'm with you forever. I just want to protect our relationship. That kind of feeling. Focus on being with a truly faithful man. Draw that feeling in, even if you've never experienced it before. And the more you focus on that, the more you draw that kind of man in. So I hope you've enjoyed this video on how to not attract cheaters and how to attract in a faithful man who will love and adore you. Take it from one woman who has certainly been through it. It's possible to attract in a man who is so faithful that you never, ever, ever, ever have to worry about him. And that is a really good feeling. I want that for you. So thanks for watching this video, and I hope you have a very flirty Friday.